Hello, welcome to another round of Sarah's question time. And today's question is, Sarah, what exactly is neuroplasticity? So this is a term bandied around a lot nowadays, and generally most people don't know what it actually means. And I'm going to give you a very simple, basic overview in a few minutes in this video. So, firstly, in relation to what it probably isn't, it does not talk about neurogenesis, so the birth of new neurons within the brain. This is most likely very rare within adults. Now, I say most likely because there is ongoing debate in the scientific community about whether neurogenesis exists or doesn't exist. But in all likelihood, neurogenesis is rare in adults. So when people are talking about neuroplasticity, they are most likely not referring to the birth of new neurons. What we are talking about for the most part is synaptic plasticity, which basically is synaptic efficacy. So within the brain, you have neurons, and these neurons don't touch each other. So there are gaps between the neurons, and the gaps are the synapses. And the synapses is how the neurons communicate with each other. So when you hear the term synaptic efficacy, it basically means that the synapse is very effective at getting the neurons to communicate with each other. So you can strengthen this efficacy so that the communication between the neurons is better, or you can weaken the efficacy, which means that the communication is dialed down a notch. If you've heard the expression before, which you may have done if you have an interest in neuroscience, by Carla Schatz, neurons that wire together, fire together, neurons that fail to sync, lose the link. That is what she is referring to. So she is referring to synaptic plasticity. That's a very brief overview. But when you're trying to strengthen the synaptic plasticity, essentially what is happening is there are changes in the neurotransmitters being released by the presynaptic cleft that are going over the synapse and into the receptors in the postsynaptic cleft. So you are seeing changes in the volume of the neurotransmitter and the volume going over the synapse and the number of receptors that are receiving this neurotransmitter over the other side. Now, unfortunately, plasticity well, fortunately as well, because it's fortunate that you have the ability to do this, changing plasticity or changing habits and behaviors through plasticity takes repeated effort. So in order to change that synaptic efficacy, it takes repeated and consistent effort. And then over time, that neural pathway starts to change, hopefully for the better, to implement a particular change in habit or behavior that you are looking to bring into your life. So this has been a very simple overview. I most likely will go into other details about specific areas in other videos, but if you want more information, please do feel free to reach out to me.